What's happening? Welcome to Midnight Entertainment, Official X Midnight here, and today on Borderlands 3 we have another Moze build for you. This one we like to call the Titanium Bear. It focuses primarily on auto bear benefits, iron bear damage, cooldown speed and protection, and at the same time we're honing in on survivability for Moze herself during her action skill cooldown. On this video's upload as well, we have the entire build in a little more detail on our Discord, if you want to check that out. We're going to go through the build in order, so you'll see Moze's skill trees first, preferred weapons and gear, which can of course be chopped and changed, and of course a little test run near the end of this video to let you see what it can do. If you like what you see, give this video a quick like, it would mean the world to us. Subscribe for more, and you can check out more on what we do in the description below. So let's get into the video, folks. First off, we're going to have a look at the blue tree, and unlike last time, we don't need to go too much into what each skill does, so this will be a much quicker rundown than last time. So, Fire in the Scad Den gets all 5 points, along with Means of Destruction getting 2 points for grenade and ammo regen. Deadlines benefits our Iron Bear with a 42% drop in fuel usage. This also gives us 10% fuel on kills. Stainless Steel Bear not only gets maxed out, but our class mod puts this up even further, so that gives us huge advantages on fuel usage, armor, and of course damage. Auto Bear is also a must. We can not only benefit from Auto Bear annoyance, but it also allows us to keep pumping out that damage whilst we are cooling down. Plus, you can basically stand right next to your bear and take advantage of its bubble shield. Pull the Holy Pin gets max points for critical hits, along with Vampire, which is always in there for our main healing source. Explosive Punctuation gets 4 points more for more cooldown when we deal Splash, which leaves us with our 1 point on Short Fuse. Into the Orange Tree, the only thing that's really changed here is adding Security Bear, there it is there, which makes all the sense for this particular build, with Iron Bear usage being our focus. Armoured Infantry also gets maxed out for more gun damage. Drowning in Brass gets a little bit of reduction, but still stays here nonetheless, along with Full Can of Whoop-Ass and Experimental Munitions, which both benefit Iron Bear and Moze. Now, our green tree was used primarily to buff Moze, so with this build our aim was not only to benefit Iron Bear, but to also benefit Moze's survivability, which also seems to be an issue with many other builds that I've seen. Cloud of Lead gets all 5 as always, along with maxing out Stoke the Embers. You can also see that our current class mod benefits this even more. Daka Bear also gets a point. This allows us to go into Auto Bear and grab that immunity window by climbing on his back, and we're still able to take full advantage of Iron Bear's damage. This also gives us a little bit of a choice as well, so you can use Moze and her own weapons, or you can climb into the back of Iron Bear. Redistribution is amongst our main healing sources, along with Vampire. Scrappy gets a small reduction, but nevertheless still provides us with that gun damage. Then we have Russian Offensive to benefit our movement, and of course Scorching RPMs to benefit Iron Bear damage and Moze's fire rate and critical. Specialist Bear also gets a slap of damage of increase here, that's 60%. We also dual wield the Vanquisher rocket pod, so this is perfect for the build. 1 point on the Iron Bank, 2 points on Click Click, or 1 point on Some for the Road this time around. This gives us infinite ammo when we exit Iron Bear, when we choose not to go into Daka, of course. And of course we still can't say goodbye to that Forge skill, so that gets 1 point to give us that ammo regen. And last but not least, we have Big Surplus in the purple tree. This is the best return in investment for such a low cost at just 3 points, providing perfect benefits to this build, activating on skill cooldown, providing even more damage for Moze. Now onto our weapons. First up we have the Unkempt Harold. This is currently one of the best pistols, specifically for Moze with her splash damage. This is the 4 times variant. This fires projectiles in a horizontal line, and each shot explodes as it makes contact with your enemies. It maintains extremely well with your ammo regen, and the action skill anointment protects us sufficiently enough by itself. And you can get this gun at an increased drop rate from Caber Dowd and Blood Sun Canyon in the Bounty of Blood DLC. Next we have the Stark Flipper. This particular one is the Cryo Incendiary variant. Its projectile number increases the longer you fire and does not affect cost per shot. It does have a small charge up time, but our build mitigates that, which I'll show you later on in this video. It's the second best SMG for damage, and the anointment is used just like the Unkempt Herald and gives us an additional 100% incendiary damage on action skill end. You can get this from the Minosaur in Bloodsun Canyon, or you can actually find this being dropped from the Ruiner in Crater's Edge as well, as I've recently found out. Next, as you probably wouldn't have noticed by now, we still retain quite a few things from our previous build. External weapons, we still retain the Soul Render. This is the slightly different variant this time, and with the best cooldown rate anointment for the build. Along with its usual accurate, straightforward autofire, it also occasionally shoots purple skulls that produce massive damage and work extremely well with Moze. This particular variant also has a burst fire mode, with both modes having their own weapon zoom levels. That is 1.5 times for the autofire and 5 times for the burst fire. Brilliant gun, and will remain with this build comfortably. Lastly, for our weapons, we still retain the plasma coil. It does extremely well with sustaining Moze's ammo regen, and of course produces the highest damage out of all of our weapons. This variant is with shock and radiation and benefits our auto bear with a bonus 130% incendiary damage. Onto some alternatives here. You can have the consecutive hits Chaosin. You also have a very underrated shotgun here. This is the slow hand. It also benefits towards our splash radius. The damage is quite high, but obviously not as high as our build weapons, but nevertheless still an amazing weapon. We have, of course, the subsidized Butcher. This gun has gained quite a bit of reputation recently and is now considered one of the best shotguns in the game. It is a shotgun, but it's more or less an assault rifle, and the damage it can put out in Moze's hands is near unrivaled. The anointment on this provides massive lifesteal as well, which is good for Moze's survivability. And then of course we still have the Peril, the mag size Peril here, this time being an alternative for that consecutive hits damage increase. Now onto our gear. We of course kept the trigger happy Super Soldier Shield, mainly for its protective barrier on shield full and some extra ammo regen on top. Although this time around we do not use the Bloodletter class mod to heal the shields, we subsidise that reduction with more regen and delay benefits through our skill trees. You can get this from your vault card. Next, we're using a brand new class mod. We haven't actually used this one before. This is the Raging Bear. This pairs perfectly with the build, providing even more benefits to our Iron Bear by providing fuel usage reduction on kills, and by taking damage, we gain damage. I will also clarify that with the Security Bear Bubble Shield, taking damage on that still counts towards the damage increase. Our percentage rolls on this is actually one of the best I've ever seen. We were actually able to benefit from all three, being splash radius, critical damage increase, and weapon charge speed, which is in reference to our flipper and the plasma coil. They have a small charge rate, but this deals with that quite well. You can get this from quite a few sources. It can drop from both bosses in the Malawan Takedown, this Wotan and the Valkyrie squad, but you can also get this at an increased drop rate at 30% from Billy the Anointed, which can be found in Jacob's Estate on Eden 6. Another change is our artifact. We went for the Snowdrift Victory Rush. This provides us with stacking 18% movement speed and damage on badass kills, and provides a little bit more health regen and max shield to benefit this build in general. And lastly, we retain the good old Cloning Maddening Tracker. Still the best grenade mod to use in tandem with Vampire to provide our healing, and procs our Means of Destruction skill for grenade regen. So that is it from me for just now. A very quick video, a very quick build for you. That was our Titanium Bear build. Massive capabilities with cooldown rate and paired with auto bear, so you can pretty much keep your Iron Bear on the field with you at all times, minus the occasional 3 to 5 seconds worth of action skill ending time. But if you use Daka Bear, you won't have any problem at all. You also still retain your massive damage with Moze herself if you choose to use her, including some extra benefits to your shield, and to patch up that age-old issue with Moze and her glass cannon reputation. So with that, I will pass you on to our build test. You can also have a read at the build in more detail on our Discord, and there will be more character builds coming from us in the near future. We also have a non-Borderlands video coming up this week, so stay tuned for that. Thank you again. Peace!